Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have with us on the Cargo Newswire TV, live and exclusive from World Cargo Symposium, Singapore. We have with us Rick Elieson, President of American Airlines Cargo, on the talk show with Devender from Cargo Newswire TV. Welcome, Nick. How are you?
Thank you very much. You're doing great.
And how is World Cargo Symposium at Singapore going on for you?
It's good. It's always good to connect with people, and World Cargo Symposium is a good opportunity to do that.
You have American Airlines Cargo has a lot of opportunities with regard to the United States and ahead beyond cargo supplies in terms of that. How was 17 and 18 for you?
The last couple of years have been very strong. They've been good years for American. The biggest, or perhaps the thing we're proudest of, however, is not just the growth that we've seen, but the improvement in our operational performance. We were coming off of, 2018 was our strongest operational performance we've had in our history. In fact, the last half of the year, we set new records almost every month. So really strong operational performance. That only leads to one outcome, which is you win more business and you deliver on those promises, and it produces good revenue results.
Did you see any challenges for 2017-18 for you, despite the growth?
Oh gosh, there's always challenges. That's the nature of the business. There's always things to address or to overcome. But that, if challenges dissuade you, it's probably the wrong industry. That's the part of it.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, challenges are the part of business, any business, and we need to overcome those kind of business. In terms of when you talk about 2019, how do you see 2019 in terms of growth potential? Any plans of increasing your freights? Any plans for increasing the cargo, and also in terms of the business growth?
Yeah, so it's no surprise that our performance, like other carriers, generally what I hear and what I see reported in the industry is a little bit of a soft start to the year. We're still very optimistic about what the year will produce. While we haven't seen, the kind of growth we saw in 2018 or even in 2017, the tail end of 2017, what we've seen has been modest growth. It's still shaping up to be a positive year for us and a good year.
Taking into consideration the cargo growth, you're talking about being more optimistic. There have been talk about in this forum and elsewhere when we have attended a lot of forums all over the world in the past couple of years. We see a trend of digitalization. Talking about a lot of people are talking about integration, coming together, e-commerce, and how would you place American Airlines Cargo in terms of digitalization, integration, and e-commerce?
Yeah, so we rank within the top 10 carriers in terms of the number of e-airway bills that we're producing. That's been a great focus for us. E-airway bill isn't an end unto itself. It's a process, but it's an important step, and I think we're showing our commitment to it. Last month we were over 75% of our airway bills, of our eligible airway bills, were e-airway bills. I can't wait till we can stop saying e-airway bills and we can just say that's what they are. That's just the standard, right? And so we're making progress towards that. We've got other efforts going. At one point it was how do we get everybody on board, and we plateaued for a little while. And so we've been trying to take a more regional approach and get particular regions or areas on board.
Yeah, I was coming on to that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to Rick Elieson, President, American Airlines Cargo, live and exclusive from World Cargo Symposium, Singapore. Rick, we have been talking in terms of increasing network. Do you have any plans for 2019 to increase network, and what is your present status of network?
Yeah, so we fly to more than 150 cities today, and if you combine with some of our interline partners, our reach goes well beyond that. We've got new seasonal service that we've announced that will launch this year into Bologna, Berlin, other places within core Europe. That's where we've seen probably the greatest expansion over the last couple of years. Has been additional service into more leisure-oriented markets within Europe.
Taking cargo, especially cargo network, how do you see India and China as emerging markets?
Yeah. I don't know if does China still count as an emerging market. I mean, it's such a massive market, especially in the freight industry. It's a fantastic market. All of our China routes perform really well from a cargo perspective. That will continue to be and is always a focus for us, just because of how much commerce moves between the U.S. and China.
Yeah, because the present crisis and the trends which are going on, is it a challenge and threat for American Airlines Cargo?
It hasn't been. So it's been more rhetoric than it has been impact. There have been, I'll call it, a couple of blips or periods where you see perhaps people were in a rush to get ahead of impending tariffs, or where you see, on the flip side, people overstocked a little bit. But you see those policy decisions on the margin affecting volumes. But overall, I think the air freight is more immune to those than perhaps other modes of transport.
Well, that's a challenge which everybody is eyeing on. The entire cargo industry is affected by the kind of present crisis, but then it's a short-lived crisis, and I'm sure that business will be strong as ever for all the partners of the cargo industry and vis-a-vis American Airlines Cargo.
And you have to remember that air freight's only a small portion of the total cargo,
exactly.
and the nature of the types of products that travel air freight, I think, are a little more resilient.
And my last question to you, what's your vision of promoting American Airlines Cargo for the next 2 years?
I don't know if it's promotion. I think it's very simple. I think it's performing to deliver on your commitments to customers. And so we're making, in fact, in our case, the biggest investment we've ever made in technology that will drive and improve our operational performance. And from there, the rates are what they are, whatever the market supports. It's just about, can you deliver on those commitments?
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Really appreciate, Rick, for your time. And I really snapped you out for this.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And really thank you for your time, really talking to us. And ladies and gentlemen, we are thankful to Rick Elieson talking to us live and exclusive from World Cargo Symposium, Singapore. Thank you, Rick, once again.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.